When a local United Church minister penned his first fiction novel, he had no idea the type of traction it would get. Reverend Darrow Woods is from Kingsville. He leads two congregations for the United Church in Harrow and in Essex. And in 2019, he took his writings from the pulpit to the pages of a mystery novel when he wrote The Book of Answers. Before it was published, it became a finalist for a Crime Writers of Canada Award of Excellence. And since being published less than a year ago, about 600 copies have been sold. Darrow Woods joins me now in the studio. Good morning.
Morning, Amy. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Congratulations on your novel.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
How are you going to beat it with your next novel?
Well, I don't know about beating it. I really just do it for fun.
Yeah.
So the first one's set in Oakville because that's where I was then, and it's set in the week before Easter. So the one I'm working on now is set. Well, it's set in Kingsville, but I'm not calling it that.
Okay.
And it's set in a church in Kingsville, but I'm making up a new one because I don't want anyone to think that
That they're going to show up in the pages of your book?
or that bad things are happening in that church.
That's true.
But the new one will be set in the 2 weeks before Christmas.
Wow. So you are gearing up. I just said that as a chance, and it's true. So I want you to explain the plot of the Book of Answers.
Well, first of all, it's called the Book of Answers because the main character, his name is Thomas Book. And my idea is going forward, I want to write a series. So each one will be the book of something. So the Book of Answers refers to a book he finds. It's a journal he finds in a hidden corner in the church that will turn out to have answers to one of the mysteries he's trying to solve.
Which is?
Who killed who? But I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you the whodunit part. That ruins the fun of the mystery.
No, but I'm thinking it's Easter weekend. It comes out in the first, because I did start reading the book yesterday. It did come out in the first few pages that a body falls out of the church wall.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure out who done it.
Yeah. So the my protagonist, my reluctant sleuth in the story, poor Tom. He's the assistant pastor. He's a recently widowed 40-something guy, and he's hiding in this job as an assistant pastor, kind of disconnected from life and trying just to get by. And he gets called back to work when he's supposed to be on vacation. Because there's a reality TV video crew that comes into the church, and they want to do a piece about, is there a church ghost? And their angle is maybe cadaver dogs don't sniff out the actual smell of corpses. Maybe they're guided by the spirits, which Tom thinks is kind of crazy, but he's going along with it. And within minutes of the dog being in the church, the dog does sniff out a body, and it literally falls out of the wall. It's been there for a while, and that's a mystery that goes back about 20 years. I don't want to ruin that for you because you said you're reading it.
Yeah, you can stop there.
Yeah. But then the reason Tom, I will, yeah. The reason Tom is called in that day is because his boss, the senior pastor, is missing.
Right.
So that's the other mystery that will unfold, because it's fun to have one in the past and one in the present.
You do a good job of keeping that suspense for pages, and a lot of great mystery novel writers, from my experience anyways, keep you reaching for the next answer. And you seem to do that quite frequently with different mysteries or different things. I'm like, well, what happened to this? And then I have to keep reading it. And you keep that reader, or you kept me anyways, going page by page, trying to get answers to multiple things.
Amy, thank you for that. I think if a journalist is looking for the answers, then I must be doing it right.
No,
But
I don't.
yeah, but I've had some good teachers, some good guides in this, and that's one of the things that I'm learning is that there has to be something at the end of every chapter that makes you want to turn the page.
I think you do that well. How much of this is based on your experience as a reverend?
Well, I've never solved a murder mystery in a church
Yet.
No, but probably smaller things about what it's like to go to a church meeting, how people chat about ordinary things before they get down to business, the personalities that I've met over the years. That all is drawn on real life. I think I was very careful not to use anyone's real names, and not to make anyone look bad, because that's not the point.
And what attracted you to writing about a murder mystery?
Well, I've always been a big reader, and science fiction and thriller novels and mystery fiction have been my sort of not guilty pleasures, but the things I read for fun. So when I thought I'd like to try to write a book, I thought I'd like to try to write something that I'd actually enjoy reading. Yeah, so that's where I went.
And as we head into summer, what are you reading?
Right now, I'm working my way through an old series. There's a mystery novelist named Sue Grafton who wrote the Alphabet series. They're all about a detective in Southern California named Kinsey Milhone. And so the books begin with A is for alibi, and then B is for burglar. They go all the way up to Y, and then Sue Grafton died before she got to Z, which is too bad.
It's tragic.
Because they're a wonderful series of books, and I'm listening to them because they're all available as audiobooks, and I can get them through our local libraries as digital loans, and I'm enjoying the gradual development of characters over the course of a series, because there's an art to that, and how this author paid attention to being consistent from one book to another. And I enjoy when you can read a book and it takes you somewhere else and you believe you've been there. So there's this fictional town in Southern California that I'm learning inside and out because she brings you there. And I think that's the two reasons I would read a mystery novel, or actually any novel. A sense of place is very important. I feel like if I can feel like I've been there, then they've done their job. But the other is an interesting character, a main character. I may not like them, but if they have a point of view and they express it, I think I'm learning something about how they see the world. And Grafton does that great.
I'm thinking you could write the Book of Zed. You need to fill in the gaps at the end.
Well, Grafton's fans have mixed feelings about that, right? Like you like to see it finished, but she was also very clear that she didn't want anyone else writing for her. So that would probably be crossing a line there.
I like a good controversy. What got you into writing in the first place? Was it, you wrote this back in 2019. Did the pandemic play any role in allowing you to have time to write?
Well, writing is actually rewriting. So you get an idea, you write a few sentences, and they're terrible.
I can relate.
So you cross something out and you fix it. It's all about revision. So yeah, having more time to make art was a wonderful gift of the pandemic. And I was actually working on another book during the pandemic. But having the opportunity to create something when the world around you is a big old mess, there was some comfort in that. And it's lovely to be able to craft a story, and it's not all good things happen. It couldn't be a murder mystery and be all good things happening, but you get to create the beginning, the middle, and the end, and have things come out kind of the way you like them to come out, which nowhere else in my life is that true.
That's true, actually. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thanks, Amy. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Reverend Darrow Woods is from Kingsville. He leads 2 congregations for the United Church in Harrow and in Essex. We're talking about his first book. It's called The Book of Answers.